I think I felt the immediate beauty of harmony for the first time. I was in love with Glinka. In Russian folk songs, there are a lot of these words. Ay, la, du, lel. So the high note, la, 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 is called Dorian scale. Oh no, please don't do it. You will die. Yes, I will. Goodbye. The bee come and bites you in the nose. So, hello again, everyone. Last time it was my very first lecture in English language, and today is my very second English lecture in my life. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. Last time we were talking about Mikhail Glinka and his operas, and I see that somebody is here for the first time, and the last lecture you were not here. So maybe your friends and colleagues, which are also here, will help me now to remember you what was the invention of Mikhail Glinka and why do we call him the first Russian academic composer. I say it like this pathetic because it is a bit funny. Now we know that some composers were writing operas in Russian language in Russia before Glinka, but somehow he is the first one. Does some of you remember something about Glinka? For example, what was the name of the most famous opera? If you do, let me know. What was the name of this opera which we were talking last time? Ivan Susanin, yes, Ivan Susanin, nice. It was a heroic opera about Ivan Susanin who came with pole officers to the forest and let them die there for Tsar. Okay, and a bit more difficult question. Please don't be afraid of me. I am afraid of you a bit, but you please don't. So, do you remember what was special about Glinka's methods of writing music? What did he do? What did he invent? Folk songs, and he put it into arias of Italian masters, yeah? He came to Italy and he was learning there how to write operas and put Italian forms and Russian folk songs, mixed them together and invented Russian opera. That's very nice, you remember everything. Let me just remember you one detail. Italian bel canto, we were listening last time, it was but much better than I sing. And we were talking that it is very beautiful and very difficult to make these notes up and down, and Glinka did a different variant. He did ay-la, two notes on one sound of the word, and that was his method to do something like folk songs. Okay, Ivan Susanin and his family, for you to remember, he was a very good, pleasant, and his family was also very happy. And in the very last few moments of the lecture, I told you that Glinka became a legend for the young composers who were living in Russia, and they decided that they need to continue his work. Like, he began it, and they will continue. And one of them was Nikolai Andreevich Rimsky-Korsakov, our hero of today. You see, he was born 40 years after Glinka was born, so he is from another generation of composers. And I would say that today's lecture is much more private for me, and now I will show you why. When I was a child, I was learning in music school. I was playing piano, but my dream was to play clarinet. I love clarinet sound. It is this wooden instrument, of course. Yes, and I was dreaming about it, but I didn't have enough time. And my mother told me, "Oh, my dear, please a bit later. You have enough things to do. You need to have good marks in school. Please don't." And when I was 17, I came to the music school again. It was the pink building, just this one, and it was the only school in St. Petersburg and in Russia which is for adults and totally free. You come here and say, "Please teach me how to play something," and they say, "Okay, okay, okay." And this school is named after Rimsky-Korsakov. Also, I was learning in the college, musical college. You see this gray building, and it was college named after Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov. After this college, I came to conservatory. This is building of conservatory, and it is also named after Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov. After this, I begin to ask myself, is any composers, not Rimsky-Korsakov, were famous in St. Petersburg? No, he is the most important for the St. Petersburg. Yeah, it is all named after me, he said to you. And why so? Let we discuss. And we will begin from his childhood and discuss what was his inventions. So, when he was young, he was looking like this. We have a portrait of him. He was born in Tikhvin. It is a very little city next to St. Petersburg and Moscow, like next to central cities, in pretty rich family. And you see, he has a very difficult surname, Rimsky-Korsakov. Actually, usually that means that his family is very great. And both parts of his surname, Rimsky and Korsakov, are something Italian. Rimsky is from Rome, Rim in Russian, and Korsakov is from Corsica. But I didn't find any information about Italian roots of Rimsky-Korsakov, but his family was very rich. So he had a destiny of young, rich Russian person of the time. He went to St. Petersburg to learn how to be a sea officer. That was a St. Petersburg of the time. And you see, maybe he was thinking like, "Oh, nice building. Maybe next 100 years will pass away and it will be school named after me." But no, he didn't think about it, I think. And he was learning and became a sea officer, and that's the ship. He was traveling to the sea, but he was only 14 years old when he did it. Maybe you will ask, how? 14 years old, the ship, the sea, how? Because he had a brother. His brother was named Voin, very unusual name, and he was the captain of first rank and very nice person, and he took his brother with himself to the sea. That's important detail. After you will see that in his music, Rimsky-Korsakov, he will show sea every time, like Ayvazovsky on his pictures. Every time you'll see water, 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 this water, that water, like the lake, the sea, the ocean, every time. I think he was very impressed by the water in his childhood. And he was in some countries, like he was in Spain, in Netherlands, in North America. It was unusual for the time, and he saw a lot. Also, when he was spending his free time in St. Petersburg, he liked to go to theaters, and he liked operas, and of course he liked Glinka's operas. Let's see what did he say about it. He said, "I think I felt the immediate beauty of harmony for the first time. I was in love with Glinka." And you see, that's Mariinsky Theater in St. Petersburg of that time. I think he visited just this theater. And he was writing letters to his parents with some things like, "I don't know how to say, maybe I would like to be a musician." And they were like, "Oh, no, God, please, no. You're an officer. Please don't disappoint us." times are all the same. Let me read one letter of him to his mother of the time. It is only useful for those who are in service and receive salaries and ranks. Is music an idle pastime, like casting and showing tricks? I answer, decidedly not. The moral benefit of music is undeniable. Russian musicians are not going but flying forward. I should support this development of music in Russia, and a lot would come out of me. And he was right. Actually, I put the picture not exactly of this letter. I didn't find it. It was the letter of Rimsky-Korsakov to Ferenc Liszt. You see, it's like Rimsky-Korsakov. You don't see, sorry. But believe me. So he decided to take some lessons of music, and at first it was some teachers there and there and there, and after he found a company of friends, musicians, who were sitting together and discussed the music. Hello, Danny. Hello. Nice to see you. Is the picture of them. And it was like the discussion club. They were all much older than him. He was only 20 years old and they were like 30, 35. They were serious musicians. And he was like, I took some lessons. Can I please be with you? And they said, of course, but what can you do? And the main of them, Balakirev, who was their mentor, their teacher, he said to him, so maybe you will try to write something, like a part of symphony, a part of piece. And he was like, okay, I will. And Rimsky-Korsakov surprised them all because he was an officer and he was strictly disciplined person. Every time he came there, he had a new music with him. He was extremely hard-working person. And very fast they understood that he's talented, hardworking, and maybe he will be a very nice musician. And let me show you the picture of him. He's a bit more older. And he was famous as a very hardworking person. And very fast, when he was close to 30s, one person from St. Petersburg found him and asked him to be a conservatory director. Rimsky-Korsakov was like, me? Maybe it was something like that in his head. Like, oh no. I started music a few years ago. You understand this? Yes, we understand, yes. We need somebody very disciplined. And he said, okay, I will do anything I can. And he was beautiful director. We will remember him with very good words when we will be talking about Dmitry Shostakovich, some lectures after. Now, let's talk about music, which he wrote at that time. And our first part, I named it Forces of Nature. You know, it is a contrast in Rimsky-Korsakov's character. He was an officer. He liked sea. He liked geography. But the only thing he liked and he have chosen for his music is fairy tales. He was writing a lot of fairy tales. And before we will discuss the first opera, the first fairy tale, I will have, of course, a question for you. Please be calm. It will not be difficult. I have a riddle for you. What time of year and time of day is the story set in? Now I will play you some music and please feel yourself. What is the part of year? Maybe summer, maybe winter, maybe morning, maybe evening. And after, we will discuss it. So let's listen for the first time. And that's enough for us. Was it enough loud? Yeah, okay. So, any suggestions? Please tell me, what is the part of the year? What is the season do you feel in this music?
Spring.
Let's raise hands. Who is for spring? Who is for summer? Nobody, you're right. Of course, it's not the summer. It is not calm, it is not daylight. Yeah, okay. Who is for autumn? Nice. And who is for winter? Nice. Okay, so anything except the summer. Okay. And what is about the daytime? Any suggestions? Morning, day, evening? Morning. Who is not for morning? Everybody is for morning. Nice. Who has why? Who can say why? Just like that. You feel it inside you. That's nice. You feel right. But let me show you why exactly it is the early morning. But you understood the morning bird. Yes, but I will show you anyway. Yes, you are exactly right. Something horrifying. Some questions? Да. I think it sounds a bit like this. Yeah. So Rimsky-Korsakov shows us that the day, very early part of the day is beginning. Usually this bird is singing at like 5 a.m., too early. Okay, but I don't agree with you that it is spring. I don't know why did you decide, most of you, that it's spring, because usually spring, especially in fairy tales, is something good. You know, the weather becomes alive, a lot of trees, a lot of birds. Maybe you decide that the bird is, yeah? And that's why spring. Oh, that's clever. Early. What did you say? You say early spring. You are right. You see, it is the first day of spring. So it is the first day between winter and spring, and a very special day. In this fairy tale of Rimsky-Korsakov, every weather is alive. For example, the winter is a person. Yeah, he looks like this. And in Russia, we have tradition. We name him Ded Moroz. It is Grandfather Frost. Yes, and it is Russian Santa Claus. He looks pretty the same, so we also have a lot of the dolls of him next to the Christmas time, and sometimes he looks a lot like Santa Claus, but he is not very kind. In fairy tales, he's like, oh, I will frost you. And you need to make him kind. And in this fairy tale, he has a wife. And his wife is Spring, and she's so generous, she's so kind, because she make the weather alive. And they have a daughter. And in Russia we call their daughter Snegurочка. Let me show you. Snegurочка, that's Snegurочка. Snegurочка is Snow Maiden, but this word is for the little girl, for the little very nice girl. If you remember, last time when last lecture, I told you that Glinka is like the word for little clay. Glinka. And Snegurочка. I will call her Snegurочка if it's possible. And in the opera, in the first scenes, this Moroz asks her, Oh, Снегурочка. Sorry. She wants to live with people. She doesn't want to live in the forest anymore. She is adult. She is like teenager. And she said, please, can I go to people to the countryside? He said, what are you going to do with the people in the village? And she said, I will sing some songs. So please, 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 please. Sing songs. And after she shows how exactly she will sing with them. Let's listen. She sounds very young, you see? She thinks that she will sing with her girls, friends, and she will sing "Au, au, au." Au is a special sound which you use in forest. Au, to find your friends inside. And she is telling about one person she saw in the forest like this. She said, oh, there is a boy. His name is Lel. Lel. Very strange name, I know, Lel. And she said, he sings so beautifully. I would like to meet him and maybe he will teach me how to sing. This Lel is very interesting person. You know, he is not a human. In Russian folk songs, there are a lot of these words. Ay, ladu, ladu, lel. Leli, leli, leli. Oi, luli, luli. Something about le, luli, la, le. It is about this person. He is like Amur, the ancient god of love. And usually when you think about love, you're like, oh, love, 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 love. And some scientists think that Leli Leli is from Alleluia, but I'm not sure. But okay, it sounds beautiful. Okay. So she's like, oh, this person. And we understand that she's talking about love. He is love. He is not a person. And we understand that she is young and she doesn't want actually to sing. She wants to fall in love, but in fairy tale way. They said, okay, you can go to these people. Okay. She goes to the countryside and see this picture. Oh my God, what is this? This is the celebration of Maslenitsa. Masla is a butter. Yes, butter, like butter and bread. And Maslenitsa is a celebration of the end of the winter. Yes, we survived. Winter is over. And the tradition is to burn the dummy of Maslenitsa and to sing songs, to dance dances, and to eat a lot of pancakes. Yeah, pancakes, because they are round. Maslenitsa is very ancient celebration, and it is about Yerila, the god of sun. And the sun is round, pancakes are round, they are eating it for the sun. And let me hear what exactly these people were singing there. I will show you some words and the music. Let's listen. I think pretty nice, pretty fun. Sorry, I forgot one word. Pagan. What do we call the time before Christianity? Pagan, yes? With a lot of gods. Yeah, so this is a pagan celebration and they sing pagan songs. So what was happening next? She came to Lel, the Снегурочка, and say, oh, can I sing with you? Maybe you will teach me how to love. And he said, no, I can sing for you, but I will not be your boyfriend. And he sings to her his song. Let's also listen to it a bit. Okay, let's move forward. Just one question. Did you understand that the singer who was singing for the Lel was girl? It's the woman's voice. Do you understand why so? He's a boy and the girl is singing. Maybe you remember one character of Glinka's opera who was the boy in the opera, but his singer was a girl. Do you remember him? Who was that? Vanya, the son of Ivan Susanin, you're right. He was doing something from the wood and singing a song about his destiny. Yes, that is the opera tradition, and it's very simple to understand why so. Because the boy has his thin voice only till he is like 11 or 12 years old. And can you imagine? He learns the party and learn how to sing all the words, all the melodies, and after he is not able to work. So it is not okay for the theater. So they, yes, they hire a girl for this, for these things. So one boy named Mizgir, you see, very rough name, Mizgir. He came and said, Snegurочка, I will be the person who will love you. Please love me. Maybe you will be my wife. And she said, I'm Snow Maiden, you know, I can't love. What should I do? I can't be your wife. It is unfair. He said, no, what should we do? And Snegurочка remembered that her mother, Spring, told her, please don't be at the sun. Don't feel love inside you. You will become a water. Please don't. You are from snow. So she came to her mother and said, I understand everything. I understand that it is very dangerous, but I can't live like that. Please help me to love. I would like to feel that. And her mother said, okay, but please be careful. Okay, you will feel the love, but no sun, not any rise of it. She said, okay. She came to Miss Girs. Yes, I will be your wife. Now I love you so much. He was like, okay, let's marry. She said, okay, let's. She said, just one formal thing, said he. We need to go to Tsar. Sorry, it is always funny for me when Tsar appears in Russian operas. Like the Tsar is always a very main figure, and they came to Tsar and they need to make this formality to go and say, this is my wife, this is my fiancé, and we would like to get married. And Tsar said, yes, I bless you. Yes, I bless you all. They come to him, and they come to him in the first day before summer. And Snegurочка was a bit like, maybe we can be inside of that house. Miss Gir said, no, we need to go to the forest, celebration. She said, okay, let's go there and I will show you what happened next. It is the final of the opera. And you see, it is not very happy. Maybe you can imagine what happened next. Let's listen. Снегурочка. The sun. What is happening to me? Is it blessing or the death? Let me do bad thing, I'm sorry. To not spend a lot of time. I think it's very beautiful imagination of the fire. She says, thank you all and thank you, Miss Gir, that you loved me. She feels calm and happy, but she is dying. I'm sorry, let me show you. Let's wait for the reaction of people and her fiancé. They are shocked. They are constating the fact that she is disappearing. Okay. Let's stop here. Maybe I advise you to see the whole opera, to feel this scene, because when you do it in the theater, you feel very sad at that moment. I was crying when I saw it the first time because it's so unfair. She became happy and she dies immediately, like in Traviata of Verdi. It's romantic, something from the Romantic epoch. And her fiancé, Miss Gir, she said, gods were unfair to me. I will not live this life. And he kills himself. And after the people, they are celebrating. And at the first time you say, why? The girl was just dying here. Why are you so happy? You know why? One moment. Why aren't people grieving Snow Maiden's death? Because the Snow Maiden falls victim to a pagan ritual, because it is not about nowadays. They said, oh, we had such a short summer and such a long winter. Maybe gods were upset with us. But now the young, unusual girl was killed right here. It was for Yarila. It is a gift for you. Now we are happy. And it feels strange, but it feels ancient. It feels special. Okay. Rimsky-Korsakov chooses a pagan plot for his fairy tale. In paganism, the forces of nature are the most important forces. He endows everything that surrounds people in nature with music. And let me show you another invention of Rimsky-Korsakov. I'm sorry, I saw the time and I was like, a bit nervous, because I want to show you two more little plots of opera. I have another riddle for you. I will show you some music, and the question is, where does the action of this opera take place? You remember that Rimsky-Korsakov was a seaman, so he saw a lot. He saw North America, he saw Spain, of course he saw Russia, he was living there. And I don't know what is the country or the part of the earth inside this music. Let's listen. And now, music will change. Wait for it. Listen to the low strings. They are doing this. Dum. So let's pretend that you don't know this music. I saw you, Darleen, know this music, but let's pretend that you not. So, is it sounds like Russian folk song? Not at all. Doesn't sound Italian? Not really. In Italian music you need to do ah, and it was like ah. You see, like every time we go a bit down and my voice need to do ah. Let me show you. La 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 la. Don't mention that I sing bad, because I sing just like that need to be, just to understand. What is the part of the earth or maybe the country in which Rimsky-Korsakov can hear something like that? Egypt, maybe, or yes, I think Egypt is okay. Some Arabic countries, some eastern part of earth, yeah? Maybe Istanbul. Yes, and you're exactly right. The first melody is like la 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 la, and then harp does. Remember? Let's listen to this once more. And the shape of violoncellos is making us understand that there is ocean. It is a water. Like this. This and this. And this, of course, because it is an Arabic melody. Yes, this music is called Scheherazade, and this a fantasy of Rimsky-Korsakov about this old fairy tale, 1001 Night, about this person, this Tsar from Arabic countries. I'm sorry, I don't remember how in Arabic countries we call the Tsar. Imperator? Sultan, of course, yes. He was very disappointed in women because his wife was cheating to him, and the wife of his brother was cheating to his brother, and he was so disappointed. So he became very angry with women, and he asked one woman every night, and after the night he killed her. And once Scheherazade came to him as a new woman, and all night she was telling him a fairy tale. And in the morning she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have enough time to finish the fairy tale. I will tell you the end of the story next night." And says, "Okay." And she was telling him fairy tales for the 1001 nights. And after she was like, "Do you remember do you understand what am I doing?" And he said, "Of course I understand, but for a long time, I love you now, and I changed my mind. I'm not disappointed now. I love you. You will be my wife." Very nice story. So we understand that there is something Eastern about this music, and not only about the way he chosen notes. La, 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 la. But this is also very important. One moment. Italian notes are ah. Russian Slavic folk notes are ah. And Arabic notes, in Rimsky-Korsakov's opinion, are ah. But there also was one important detail. Listen to this melody again, and please put your attention to yellow note. I will show you it with my finger. La 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 la. In European music, we used to another note on this place. Let's hear. It will be very bad. No, that's bad. But that's we used to it. But this note is unusual. What does it mean? How can we talk about it? So the high note, la 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 la, is called Dorian scale, and the low note at that place, we call it minor scale. The scale is the recipe of music, some notes which are the DNA of the music. And Rimsky-Korsakov loved scales very much. Scale and water, that's what I'm loving. Yes, and I have another one to show you, another one scale to show you. Now we will talk about Sadko fairy tales, fairy tale about Sadko. Sadko was a singer, and you see the picture of him. He is singing next to the big quantity of people. And in this fairy tale, he is unhappy. He is like, I'm so tired of singing for them. They are eating, they are drinking, they are not romantic. And one day he comes to these people and say, oh my God, you don't need anything. You need just to eat. It is so bad. I will show you how to live. How to say? It is a fairy tale. So he came to the lake and he saw a golden fish in it, and he decided, I'm sorry, let me not to tell you these details about this fairy tale. It's very difficult and very epic and very ancient, and I think not very interesting in my opinion. I'm sorry. But there is one interesting scene inside this opera. He came by ship to the middle of the ocean, and he decided to be a traveler. Maybe Rimsky-Korsakov saw himself in the Sadko. But the gods were against Sadko, and the ship didn't move. Not forward, not back, not to the left, not to the right. And they were like, oh, what do we need to do? Sadko and his friends, they put a lot of gold and silver coins to the ocean to make it gift to the god. But they said, no. And Sadko understood. Gods need him. He said, okay, I will go downstairs from the ship. They said, oh, you will die. He said, I know, but they want me to do it. Let me show you how it was. Oh no, please don't do it. You will die. Yes, I will. Goodbye. It was nice to meet you all. I'm waiting for a very special moment. No, wait for it. somehow in one moment you will feel we are waiting for the moment in which you will understand that Sadko is not going to die, that something magical will happen now. He will go downstairs to the ocean, to the sea Tsar. Wait for it. Maids, yeah? Who is singing? Maybe seagulls are singing. Come to us, Sadko. Come to us. Okay, so let's stop right here. I have a riddle for you. After, Rimsky-Korsakov will show us the magical going downstairs by Sadko in the ocean. Rimsky-Korsakov asks you, guess how I pictured the dive into an underwater magical world. I have 3 options for you. You will need to choose just one. So, please imagine yourselves as a Rimsky-Korsakov. He was like, oh, I need a notes which are going downstairs, of course. Ta 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 ta. Maybe this option is okay for me. What do you think? Not really, yeah? Too fun. No. Maybe this one works for me. What do you think? Better? Too sad. He's dying now, yeah. Yeah. No, not working. Maybe third option is okay for you. Let's listen. Yeah? Maybe this one. You're right. I'm sorry, it was not too difficult. It was like in fairy tale. The first time was wrong, the second scale was wrong, but the third scale worked for Rimsky-Korsakov. Yes, let's listen to the correct answer. You were right, perfect. Okay, it's enough for us. It's the final scene of the act. So, no singers, just orchestra finish this scene. Okay, you see the scale was strange. Like a bit creepy. Rimsky-Korsakov invented this scale, and now in music, in academic music, we call it scale named after Rimsky-Korsakov. Another one thing named after Rimsky-Korsakov. Yes, he was a successful guy. Scale, let's talk about it. What is scale? What is the scale of Rimsky-Korsakov? How he used it? Scale is any graduated sequence of notes, tones, or intervals dividing an octave. Yes, it was for my for me to be sure that I speak correct about it. Yes, so there are 7 notes inside the octave, and they can be a bit more. Let me show you, okay? That will be better. Then I will talk about it. It can be major scale. You see, in Russia, we sing this in music schools as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. And do you know, in America, you sing it like this, or C, D, E, F, G? Which variant is correct? First one. Do, re, mi. Wow, so nice. That's cool. So this is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. Just a white scale on the white notes of piano. But it also can be a minor scale if we put a little bit down third, sixth, and seventh note. Let's listen to it. I know that's simple. Next variant will not be as simple as you can predict. Yeah, simple minor scale, simple sad minor scale, but it also can be a Dorian scale. It is minor but with high sixth note, and composers thought that it shows oriental spice of this scale. Something unusual. Dorian scale is from ancient Greece, and we know it nowadays. And Rimsky-Korsakov uses not only these scales, but also something very strange. Now I will turn on the most famous Rimsky-Korsakov piece in the world. And the scale he uses is so unusual. Then you need to think, what is it? Is it a scale or not? And for you to understand better, I put the video with piano in it. Do you see which notes does the pianist play? You all, I think, know this piece. You know? Of course. Left hand, you see left hand? Can you shortly explain me which notes does the pianist play? I beg you, there is a very short explanation, very short. Yes, please.
E.
Huh?
The emphasis on the E.
I'm sorry, what?
The E.
The E. It is too difficult. We need a bit more simple. Yes, but thank you so much. I mentioned that he plays every note that he has. Oh, I see another note. Yes, I will play it. Another. Yes, I will play it. No major, no minor. Everything. I need everything. Chromatic scale. That's so cool. You know, yes, chromatic scale. Do you all know chromatic scale? Oh my! It's okay that you don't know. I'm just invention America. Is it this word famous or not? Okay, chromatic scale. Chromatic scale is every like this gray. Chromatic scale. And Rimsky-Korsakov uses this chromatic scale to show you an animal which is the bee. Now we know that he not only showed us an early bird, he was also showing us he loved animals. But seriously, why? Why the bee? It is strange a bit, the bee. Oh, you know, it is also from the opera, but nowadays we almost don't remember that it's from opera. Now it is a very virtuoso piece of any player, the piano, the trumpet, the string, okay. But it is actually from the opera. And let me show you this opera. The bee. You see, the bee? Yes. this opera is the fairy tale. I think it's the last one opera that we will discuss. Yes, okay. Is it okay? Yes, okay, thank you. So, this opera calls the fairy tale about Tsar Saltan. Maybe Saltan is something about Sultan, yeah? But no, it is his name. It is the fairy tale that Pushkin wrote, the famous poet. He also loved fairy tales very much. And you see, if you will read it, it is pretty funny. It is like the jokes in the poetry, fairy tale with little and very adorable jokes. But the plot is not so funny as you can think. It begins like this. Some days there were 3 daughters of one woman, like in Cinderella. She loved 2 daughters and the third one she didn't love. Okay. And they were singing and talking. Oh, if I would be the wife of Tsar, I would be like the most beautiful, I would do the most nice food, the most this. And the youngest daughter was, if I was the wife of the Tsar, I would give birth to a very strong son of him. The Tsar was listening and said, yeah, the third one. Yes, nice. Hello, you will be my wife. She said, okay. And she said, so please give the birth to my son. Let him be very strong. She said, okay. And the Tsar goes away to, to work, travel. She was pregnant whole year. I'm sorry, I don't know this word, but that sounds much funnier. And she gave birth to a very nice boy, but her mother, in the fairy tale, her name is Babka Babaricha. Very rough. Babaricha. This girl wrote a letter to her husband, the Tsar, like, I gave birth to a very nice little boy. And this Babka Babaricha took this letter and put another one. And she wrote to him, I gave birth to someone we don't really understand who, not really animal, not really a frog, not really a baby, and it's ugly. The Tsar like, okay, please don't worry, my dear, I will come back, we will do something. And this Babka Babaricha took this letter and said, so please put my wife and the baby to a barrel. Thank you. To the barrel and put to the ocean. I think the wife was really surprised. Like, okay. So they put them in the barrel, hermetic barrel, and put them in the ocean. They were traveling through this ocean, and this young girl was like, oh, gods, please help us. We need to survive. And the boy was growing and growing very fast. And very fast they came to the magic island, and he came out of this barrel and became a nice person. They meet, yes, it's a fairy tale, so of course they meet a swan, and it was not a swan, it was a girl, but magic girl, and she was in trouble, and this Gvidon, young man, saved her, and she said, I will do whatever you want. And once she made him to be a bee, to visit his father, Tsar Saltan, and see what is happening around him. So you see the scene. The father is sitting next to a person who was traveling a lot, who was on this island, and this person tells him, there is a marvel on this island. The sea will swell with a storm, the sea will boil and howl, it's rush the empty shore and splash in a noisy rush, and 33 heroes came out of the ocean. So he's telling which magic things he saw in this island. And the Tsar said, oh, that sounds nice. I must Marvel at that miracle. If only I live, I'll visit the wondrous island, and I'll stay with this nice young man, Gvidon. This old lady was like, oh my God, no, 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 no. I did all of this. I don't need this to be known by the Tsar. She said, well, if he goes, it will be a Dashan right. We can't let him go. We can't let him visit the lovely island. No. And she is trying to say, oh, it's not a miracle. Oh, it's bad island. Please don't go there, don't go there. And the bee come and bites you in the nose. And let's listen to this funny scene. Do you hear the music? They are singing about, oh, look, no, he's there, no, he's there, catch him. Oh, the old woman has this thing in her nose. The last phrase was, oh, and that man who policeman didn't do anything. We need to make something about them. Yep. So it was a very funny scene. They are running around, and she is running around, but the bee is flying away. Of course, he's a hero, you know. So now you understand that this scene is inside the opera. But nowadays we cut all the singers and say, no, it's enough for us. Let it be virtuoso piece. That's all. That's the notes of this piece. La li la li la la li 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 li. Chromatic scale, every note. It is a bit difficult to play, as you understand. In piano, you need to put hands like this. But for piano is okay. The most difficult instrument is what? Horn.
Was that? No, I was going to say I played on guitar. It's very difficult.
You played it on guitar? Oh my God. You're a hero.
Wow.
Wow. Cool.
I don't know that I play it at the original tempo. But
Oh, I think it's enough. You're already a hero. I think on guitar it is very difficult because you need to put fingers like that, and maybe you have very strong fingers after that. But I meant that I think the most difficult instrument, please don't be angry with me, okay, is trumpet. Trumpet, because in trumpet you have only three these things, and you do. Every combination of it is a new sound. And you need not to do ta 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 ha 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 ha. Sometimes it's like this, and also you need to put the wind inside the trumpet. Oh my God. So I think Rimsky-Korsakov is not very kind person for the trumpet players. Okay, let me go to the final part of today's meeting. So let me talk about what we understood. Rimsky-Korsakov's contrast. So we saw operas, Снегурочка, Snow Maiden, fairy tale about Tsar Saltan, Sadko, and you know he had much more fairy tales. Yes, and they are all very magic. They are all a bit pagan, so he's chosen the very ancient plots. And for me, it was so unusual to understand that such a person like Rimsky-Korsakov have chosen such plots. He was an officer, he was strict, he was disciplined man, he was like, no day with no new music. He wakes up at 7, writes some music till 10, had some breakfast, write some music till 2 p.m., have some meal, write some something like that. And also he was the director of the conservatory, so he was very important man. And the fairy tales, not patriotic operas, you see, not something technical. But I understand that also he was a very rational person, because his method was to use scales, to use DNA of music, to use the special notes. It was all about chemistry, all about mathematical side. So mathematic, chemistry, officer discipline, fairy tales, pageant plots. I don't know why, but it's also interesting for you. That's why, sorry, you understood me. He became the very close friend to his another colleague. Let me show you again this photo. Sorry. He was very close to his colleagues. And they were thinking how to make Russian academic music great. Not great again, because it was not great. They were like great for the first time, yeah. And some of them, we will talk about them to the next meetings, the next lectures, like, we need to talk about politics, dirty problems, yes. Some of them, we need to talk about historic plots, some wars, some Tsar. And Rimsky-Korsakov's like, I choose fairy tales. Fairy tales, that's how I feel Russian music. It needs to be a fairy tale. That's nice. And they together were like Power Rangers. You know, there is a cartoon about Power Rangers, their cars, and after they became one big car. And these composers were working together, and each of them put a part of a plot. And together they were like, that's what Russian music is. And they were all fans of Glinka, of course. He was their inspiration. And the last thing that I need to that I wanted to show you is there's a memorial of Rimsky-Korsakov. I've showed you memorials of Glinka, so that's of Rimsky-Korsakov. They're standing right next to each other, next to the conservatory. On the left side, Rimsky-Korsakov. On the right side, Glinka, and conservatory in the center. And Rimsky-Korsakov was important to St. Petersburg. The school named after Rimsky-Korsakov, the college named after Rimsky-Korsakov, the conservatory named after Rimsky-Korsakov, because he had an opportunity he did a lot to simple people to become musicians. He invented the free school for peasants to sing as a choir. That is not them, I'm sorry. It is the capella's choir, but for you, for your imagination. So he was, I think he was the social worker, the most famous social worker of all composers. He did a lot of this work with papers and to discuss with rich people, oh, please give some money for me to reform the education in Russia. So he is not just a composer, he was also a dreamer about people. And maybe that's why he's chosen fairy tales, because he was not only officer, he also believed in people and saw the life as a fairy tale. So, Rimsky-Korsakov is a rational dreamer. That's what we understand now. So, it's perfect time now to say thank you, Rimsky-Korsakov. Next time we will talk about that person who was like, no fairy tales, please, social problems. What is that? Oh, I think it's the bee. Or some singer with very high voice. Okay, no problem. Wow. Some musical scene. Next time we will talk about the closest friend of Rimsky-Korsakov, who was the opposite of him. He was not a social worker, he was an alcoholic. He was sitting like this in his house, not seeing people. He was like, I'm a composer, I will not get married. I'm married to music. And he wrote it, very difficult and dark music about the problems, and he saw life the opposite to fairy tale. He said, life is not fairy tale at all. Rimsky-Korsakov, no, it is. So, thank you, and thank Rimsky-Korsakov. I finished. Thank you. It was so nice to see you again. And maybe, if you want, we can talk a bit more. So, the lecture is over. You can go home, of course. It's very nice that you spent time today here in the library. But also, you can go out and come back. And also, you can ask me some question or tell me something like a story. Maybe you were trying to listen to Glinka last time and you have some problems or some things or some opinion about it. So let me talk a bit if you need it. I would like to do it. I don't know about you. Some questions, no? You have, of course. Yes, please.
Who is your favorite Russian composer?
Who is my favorite Russian composer? Oh my God. My favorite Russian composer is Dmitry Shostakovich. One moment. I think, of course, he's my favorite. I put him as a last. I think he's the berry on the cake. Yes, I was in love with Shostakovich, like when I was a teenager. I invented his figure and I was reading his letters and crying. And I was 13 years old, 13, yes. And it was the very first time in my life I understood the death. Because I was like reading lecture and listening to the music, oh, Shostakovich, and someday I was like, I will never talk with him. He's dead. No. And for me, it was an invention that I will never talk with him. Yes, I love Shostakovich the most. I know you love the most Rachmaninoff. I was thinking of you when I was doing this program. I'm sorry, we met each other before. Yeah, and I also love all these guys. Of course, I love all of them. And Tchaikovsky, of course. Yeah. I love all of them. Thank you for the question. It was not difficult to answer. Maybe you have some more simple or difficult questions for me? Okay, no problem at all. Maybe next time, if you have any question about music, don't think Russian music, not Russian music, during the week, write it down to ask me the next week, okay? Thank you so much and have a very good night. Thank you.